on financial exclusion, environmental decline, mental wellness, and cultural loss all at the same time with one single system? Well, that's the incredible ambitious vision behind the HISA People's Chain, a DIA proposal built on Hedera Hashgraph that is designed to literally reshape the environmental, social, and economic landscape in Africa. But before we wrap our heads around a solution this big, we first need to understand the sheer scale of the challenges it's trying to solve. So let's start in Kenya, where I'm from, which is a perfect case study for this entire continent. Imagine this for a second. You live in a country where 80% of the people are completely locked out of any real investment opportunities. That's the reality for millions of Kenyans, and it stops them from building wealth and securing their own financial futures. And it gets crazier. At the same time, you've got trillions of dollars worth of assets. We're talking about farming land, rural properties, natural resources that are totally illiquid. You can't borrow against them, you can't easily sell them, so you just sit there with them, generating absolutely zero income. And this lack of capital access has devastating ripple effects. It's the huge reason why there is a staggering 40% of youth unemployment rate. You've got a whole generation of talent and energy just being held back because they can't get the funding they need to start businesses or innovate. And this crisis isn't just about money. It goes so much deeper. It's mental, environmental, and cultural. Kenya loses about 534 billion shillings annually due to forest degradation, impacting around 3% of its GDP. And over 2,000 African languages, the very fabric of history and identity, are actually facing extinction. We are talking about stories and tradition being lost for good. Financial exclusion, biodiversity degradation, cultural loss, and inadequate mental wellness all hinder the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. What if distributed ledger technology was a way out of this? Introducing HISA People's Chain, a Hedera-powered DApp, a grassroots movement powered by Hedera Distributed Ledger, a digital, robust framework that will be used to connect everyday Africans and agentic AI to address the 17 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals through action, ownership, and reward, with focus on sustainability, finance, and ecotourism for prosperity of all. It entails biodiversity conservation database, cultural database, telemedicine aspects embedded in the AI, and economic inclusion and empowerment. What is HISA? HISA is a Swahili word which means equity or portion of ownership. HISA has 4 pillars that tackle each of these huge crises we just talked about, turning those challenges into opportunities. All right, let's get into them. We have the financial engine of the whole operation, Umoja, which means unity. Its entire goal is to open up investment and wealth creation to the 80% of people who have been left behind, and it does this using a triple token system. There's one token for community governance, Umoja token, an ETF comprising of Hedera ecosystem token, HBAR-BTC, HBAR the native token, Dovu, Source, Bonzo, HSUT, and BNK, among others. It entails also tokenized gold and diamond, Kenya infrastructure bonds, and tokenized RWA owned by HISA Chain, all in one token. Umoja token provides governance and participation and asset-backed value appreciation. Next, we have Umoja Stable, offering day-to-day transactional stability with wealth preservation and retention. Umoja Options enable sophisticated hedging strategies for advanced users. AI for financial analytics, the goal is to automate the process to make it easier for users to save and invest in assets that rise faster than the Kenyan inflation. Being a beneficiary of SMEs and my way of giving back, HISA offers a service we call tokenization as a service, where players like SMEs leverage tokenization as a service using Hedera token service and Hedera consensus service to help SMEs tokenize and monetize their products, giving them new opportunities. They can fund their businesses, which they can list on Umoja Securities Exchange and trade, among other things. By tokenizing their cash flow and assets, we help with the credit problem, strengthening the major source of employment in Africa. You combine that with smart contracts that automate all the finance, and it's kind of a bank, an exchange, and an investment fund rolled up into one decentralized platform, leveraging Hedera Distributed Ledger in RWA and security tokenization to unlock liquidity from traditional finance and idle resources. We have Hedera Consensus Service for secure transaction, Hedera File Service for storing legal documents, and what do you get? A resilient anti-fragile system. Through tokenization of real estate, fractional ownership users own a portion of assets that generate passive income, allowing them to own income-generating assets. Pillar is the biodiversity conservation pillar, Jani, which means leaf. Kenyan banks are now channeling more capital into sustainable green finance, aligning with the global climate goals and local development needs. The sector could unlock up to 19 trillion in opportunities through green investments. Journey seeks to tap 10% of this annually through providing opportunities to the ecosystem thanks to Hedera distributed ledger technologies in automated pools and agentic AI to help in journey pools, providing rewards to validators autonomously. It works. For every single real-world tree that gets planted and verified, one journey token is created on Hedera. All you have to do is plant, verify, and get rewards from pool while minting a journey token. The proof of growth mechanism leverages from Hedera Guardian and Dovo to aid track trees, among other conservation activities. Physical uploads, real-time photos that will be used and verified and validated to ensure that conservation activities is real while still using satellite imagery, autonomous drones, and IoT sensors as other sources of collecting information, with the primary actors being validators since they are the ones involved in planting the trees. The Kenya Forest Service has launched an ambitious tree planting program to support the government 15 billion trees by 2032. Journey seeks to provide a decentralized database by integrating HISA with Kabila to store trees planted to allow more people to participate in conservation activities directly and indirectly. Imagine you can pay a Journey validator to mint 100 indigenous or medicinal trees and plant them on Ololua forest, and then mint an NFT and trade it on Kabila or Centex. And you'll be getting regular updates on the trees and how they are faring. Community forest associations, through their carbon offset activities, can track, tokenize, and sell carbon credits that adhere to Vera Gold standard, thanks to Hedera and its distributed ledger technologies. Individuals or organizations can use HISA to capture their tree planting effort. E.g., the government of Kenya has an initiative called the Jaza Miti Initiative, where it seeks to plant the 15 billion trees, which I mentioned earlier. HISA can be used as a decentralized database to capture this. HISA can track its CO2 sequestration in its CO2 offset activities in the ecosystem. This creates a direct, verifiable link between digital assets and real-world positive impact on the planet, creating a self-sustaining financial model that minimizes reliance on grants. Terraforms under Journey is designed to solve the huge problem of illiquidity and food security. It's about turning static farming land into dynamic, investable tools. So get this, a farmer could tokenize their future mango harvest, creating, let's say, mango token. This lets them get cash for seeds and equipment upfront from investors today. And this isn't just about getting quick money. It's about completely shifting the power dynamics, giving farmers direct access to markets and a way to bypass predatory lenders while keeping a clear supply chain on Hedera distributed ledger. This pillar is Culture Heritage Asset Token, CHAT. This is the pillar dedicated to protecting and celebrating Africa's rich, incredible culture. This is about turning preservation into sustainable community-owned enterprise. What CHAT does, it lets community take ownership of their unique assets. We're talking about oral stories, traditional art, music, and turn them into NFTs. It uses AI to help preserve languages and Hedera file system to permanently store the information, basically creating a digital vault. And the best part, smart contracts. Make sure when these assets are sold or licensed, royalties flow back to the content creators and their communities. Think of it as a decentralized cultural museum on Hedera, further aligning with HISA sustainability goal for ecotourism. We've got finance, we've got environment, we've got culture. But what's the glue that holds all these things together? Well, this is the final piece of the puzzle. It's the HISA layer. It acts as the foundational operating system for Africa's decentralized digital economy. Integrating finance, environment, and culture, it establishes trust by giving users sovereignty over their data and identity. Through privacy preservation technology, the platform verifies positive real-world actions like mental wellness checking-ins and tree planting, transforming them into quantifiable impacts. Through smart contracts, this verifiable impact is automatically tokenized into tradable digital assets, creating tangible value. The HISA token incentivizes participation, rewarding users for activities that strengthen the community well-being and environmental health. Ultimately, this creates a circular economy where individuals' prosperity is linked directly to collective action and sustainability growth. Mental health is seen as core to economic empowerment and fundamental asset for prosperous life. The goal is to build Africa's first agentic, community-driven, decentralized economy where action creates value. If we can verify it, we can value it. If we can value it, we can tokenize it.